Hello party people, it's me JiBron here back again with another video. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and welcome back to another episode of JiBron Unhinged. Sorry to all you people on YouTube, we had a little bit of technical difficulties earlier, but that's okay, we're getting everything worked out. This is a work in progress show. I'm grateful to all the people that are helping me today. And I just can't really complain. So welcome to the first live episode. We're gonna fix everything in post, but to you at home who are watching me from here, hi y'all. Welcome back to another episode of JiBron Unhinged. Okay y'all, so we have a lot to discuss today. Let's just get to it. Y'all, we kind of had a little hiccup this morning. The cameras were acting crazy. It was just a whole lot. So y'all bear with me while I bear with you. I really appreciate all the love and support that you all have been giving me though through this entire process. The show has been growing. I'm forever grateful to you all. Without you, I am nothing, and I just can't do anything but express my gratitude and my greatest gratitude. But anyway, y'all, let's get to the real reason why you came here, the mess. Okay. Did y'all hear? Well, did y'all watch the 20th anniversary of the Hannah Montana, the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana, the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana special that aired on Disney Plus? Now, I have not watched it yet because I've been busy doing other things, but I heard good things about it. I heard that she performed 3 songs, which people were irritated about. She only performed 3 Hannah Montana songs, which everybody was irritated about. I'm just happy that Miley is even acknowledging Hannah Montana, because at one point, remember when she was like licking the freaking sledgehammers and twerking on Robin Thicke and Rotten Wrecking Balls butt naked? You know, I'm happy that she's acknowledging her, because, you know, Hannah Montana represents a period in my childhood of when I truly kind of got to see what I really wanted out of my life, because that show influenced a lot of what I knew what Hollywood was and how and what I thought my life would be like. I knew at 4 years old I wanted to be an entertainer because of that show. That show influenced me a lot on the things that I wanted, how I wanted to live my life, how I wanted my closet, how I wanted my wardrobe. It kind of gave me a truly like a basis on what I even wanted to do as a child. So, with that being said, I was kind of confused on why none of the cast was there. Miley was an intricate part of it, but we had no Jason Earl, no Moez Arias, no Mitchell Musso, and no Emily Osment. Now, Emily Osment was already busy filming Jenny and Georgia and Mandy's first marriage, so that's why. And then, you know, that show's a direct competitor because that's on a separate network. Mitchell Musso, however, we don't know what's going on with him, but if you do remember, he did get arrested in 2023 for public intoxication, theft under $100, and some traffic warrants. You know that with him, he ended up having his own spin-off show, and you know, even though his character was heavy in the first couple of seasons, you know, the last couple of seasons, he was like in and out because he was taping the other show. With Mitchell, you know, praise up to him. He was like a child star. So, you know, he had those issues that most child stars have, which probably explains the alcoholism. I mean, Miley went through her whole rebellion era, and maybe that was his rebellion era. I'm just happy that she's back. She was the voice for our generation. She inspired a lot of us. She is the reason why a lot of us knew what we wanted to do. She will always hold a special place in our hearts with us. So with that being said, I'm happy about the 20th anniversary. I'm happy she's acknowledging it. And she really went full-fledged with it, because guess what? She even dyed her hair blonde. Like, she really is going into full-blown Hannah mode, and I'm totally here for it. In other news, did y'all hear about the Brawling Bachelorette? Now, let's talk about this hussy. Because let me tell you what homegirl did. Now, I keep wanting to call this girl Taylor Putnam, but the girl name is Taylor Franklin Paul. All right. She is a divorcee and a single mother of a 2-year-old. Now, let me tell you about Miss Taylor. Taylor liked to fight. Taylor needs to be locked up, thrown away in jail. She needs to go to a psychiatric facility, and she needs to have some silver bracelets, and probably needs to be in a padded cell. Let me tell you about Miss Taylor. So Taylor was scheduled to be on the upcoming season of the Bachelorette or whatever, right? Cool. Well, guess what? Dakota, allegedly, which I don't think he did it. I think the video just got leaked. So apparently her baby's father allegedly leaked the video of them fighting, because guess what? There was not 1, not 2, but 3 separate incidences of them having these brawls where she allegedly choked him, scratched him, ripped his necklace off, and she even allegedly threw a chair at him, and the chair allegedly hit her 2-year-old child. Now, get this, she lost custody of her said 2-year-old child due to these incidents, and guess what? She will not get said custody until probably April the 7th when they go to court for a custody hearing. ABC did not know about the footage prior because ABC, probably wouldn't have, hired her. There was also another incident that happened, I think, on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and she allegedly beat him up too. This girl is sick. I'm glad that they pulled it. They still paid her her I say little like I have the money. They still paid her her 5 to 6 figure salary. That she was going to get. It was in the low ranges, but nonetheless 6 figures. She's apparently an influencer. I don't know what she influences. Maybe she influences all the mentally unwell people in society. I mean, if you're going to be mentally unstable, I at least think that you should advocate for, therapy and proper medication so you don't sit around and beat people like you're in a prison melee, which you need to be in a prison melee because, girl, you won't go there, you need to be locked up. I don't think you should ever be left alone with your child ever again. You need to have supervised visitation for the rest of their child's life, because if you're willing to do this in front of his father, we can only know what you're gonna do behind closed doors. Because at the end of the day, you are not wrapped too tight. You clearly have something going on in your brain. I'm happy that ABC pulled the show. And they're probably gonna write it off on their taxes, and you'll just be a charity case, and we probably won't hear about you ever again, and you look crazy. And then I remembered that you were trying to blame this on your baby father. But here's the problem with your baby father, because I suffered with my own domestic issues. And from experience, most men do not fight women back because obviously a man is typically more bigger than a woman. It's just not a fair fight. Had he did put his hands on you, he would have been thrown in jail. If the shoe was reversed, he would have been everything but a child of God. But since it's you, we want to excuse it. And I can tell that you live in a life where you take no accountability for anything, because guess what? You had the nerve to sit around and want to blame him for everything. No, sweetheart, you threw the chair, you lost custody of your child, so guess what? You must suffer the consequences of it, sweetie. There's this thing called in life called cause and effect, and this is the cause of your actions, so there's the effects of it. I don't ever want you to get custody ever again, and I don't ever want to utter your raggedy, ratchet name ever again, because you, my darling, only get privileged because of the color of your skin. But your highlights look good, girl. That's about the only nice thing I can say about you, because other than that, you are tick, 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 boom, and not even in a good way. In other news about people's mamas, did y'all hear about Mama Tina's gumbo? Child, the people say the gumbo not good at all. The people on the interwebs is dragging poor Mama Tina, saying the gumbo is watery, tastes like beef bouillon. Says she jipping people. It's $22 to $23 a cup. First of all, who pays that much for gumbo anyway? But we're not gonna go there. If you want to be stupid with your money, by all means, do what you want to do. I'm never paying $22 to $23 for a cup of gumbo. I'm sorry. I don't care if it came from Beyonce herself. I'm not paying that much. Jules even said that his grandma's gumbo wasn't that good. He said he rated a 7 out of 10. Granny, you shouldn't have said that. I don't care what my grandma cooks. It's always a 10 out of 10 because it came from grandma's kitchen. But apparently, the gumbo got somebody so sick that they had to shit it down. Now, get this. Before my birthday, according to TMZ, they closed it after a complaint because guess what? There was a customer said that they were so ill that they threw up blood, had chills, fever, and nausea. Now, the reason why the people say that this had occurred was because the health inspectors came out and they said the food was cooked on an off-site site, cooled down, then stuffed in non-food grade orange buckets, stuffed into a freezer that was not licensed, then transported back to the refrigerated trailer and then thawed before cooked. There was no temperature logs of the gumbo, and the food used after day one was not licensed or permitted to use. However, she complied. They got a freezer trailer because they also saw some seafood that needed to be kept frozen that wasn't frozen. And they went over the methods that needed to be quickly thawed out and things of that nature. Here's the thing about Mama Tina. I don't think you should be cooking, girl, and I'm gonna tell you why. You are a fashionista. I like you for knowing Beyonce's hair and doing her clothes. I don't really care about your food. You're not Patti LaBelle. I never get that vibe from you. You always gave me bougie, astute businesswoman vibes, which is what you were at one point. We know you weren't at home cooking those girls' meals. We knew you were sitting around trying to go in the beauty salon and, doing hair because, Matthew quit his good job to go manage those girls, and somebody had to pay the bills, and you were the one to pay the bills. You are a prime example of what a woman does what a woman does what they need to get done for their family. You are the epitome of a black queen in my eyes. The people said that you were rude to them, which, okay, whatever. I mean, she's probably under a lot of stress. Her name's on the line. The people are complaining about the gumbo. I don't think you people understand what kind of mental thing that puts on you if she is rude. Take it with a grain of salt. She's probably not used to being around a whole bunch of people, respectfully. Like, calm down. Mama Tina, but I know how you can fix this. Come out with a clothing line. Come out with a fashion line. Because, girl, you can turn this around 360. Because people are going to buy something because you're Miss Tina Knowles. Everybody's going to buy something from you because you're Beyonce's mother. But in other news, did y'all hear about Amy Luciani and Dwight Howard and the Booger Sugar? Honey, child, I was minding my black business and I was sitting on the back of that van on that skills trip. And all of a sudden, I see that this black woman is talking about her husband, Dwight Howard. Now, Dwight Howard has had some alleged things go on in the past. You know, he likes to dibble and dabble in hard drugs, allegedly. He also likes to play with men on occasion, allegedly. And apparently, CPS came, took his daughter, and apparently you were going to lie for him. But he went and did the Uno reverse card on you and filed for divorce. Keep in mind, she already filed for divorce after they were only married for 6 months in July 2025. You have no money, according to you. You said that you were going to get $1 million TV show, allegedly. This is all alleged. You said that you were going to get $1 million TV show, yet he canceled at the last minute. He's fully in control of you. He makes all the money. He's drawing his health insurance. He pays your car note, pays your phone bill, pays your credit card bills. You pretty much are nothing without Dwight. And this is what you get for being stupid. You left your job at Love and Hip Hop to go be Dwight Howard's husband? Like, you are crazy. Who leaves a substantial amount of income to go play house with an almost retired NBA player? You know men are controlling, especially men of a certain tax bracket. I don't know why you thought that this man was going to sit around and let you gallivant and not do anything about it. I don't know if you have a prenup. I don't know what's going on. But what I will tell you this, you look absolutely stupid and crazy. You are an embarrassment to me and my people. Why? Y'all. Sorry. We back just like Jackie. So you sit around and you want to sit around and ask, oh my God, I was going to have money for a rainy day, but then he took the $1 million deal again. Why weren't you saving your Love and Hip Hop money, huh? Why weren't you paying your own cell phone bill, huh? Why weren't you doing streaming or something? There's no way for a public figure of your stature should not have any money at all saved up. You should have stocks, bonds, or something. So as soon as the white like, I don't want you no more, and you can say, well, deuces, because I don't want you no more either. And chunk the deuces. But now you sitting around have to file under this man's will, and you better hope he gives you some spouse support, because girl, from the looks of it, you ain't about to get nothing. You look stupid, you look crazy, and you've embarrassed me. You lied to CPS. You lied to CPS to keep this child in custody, and you know this man is doing these illegal drugs in the house? People like you disgust me because that child was in danger. And Royce Reed said the only reason that you even left him was because it got public, and I do believe it. Amy, you are the type of woman that sits around and goes in the house as long as I can. We get a nice Chanel bag and I drive a nice Mercedes Benz. I don't care what's going on. You need to go to jail too. If Dwight goes for child abuse, you need to go because you're enlisted, because you knew everything that was going on in that household. You are just as dirty as Dwight is, and I pray that that child is not traumatized from being in that house. Royce Reed came out. This is fully karma. I'm going to agree with Royce Reed. She pretty much was like, y'all was celebrating my downfall, but look at y'all now. Y'all only been married for y'all haven't even been married for a full calendar year, and y'all already hitting divorce court. Like, what in the Kim Kardashian 72 day marriage is going on here? Like, you look stupid. Like, I just don't understand, after all is said and done, why you don't have your own money put aside, girl. Let me get off my tangent and let me calm down and let me do what Whitney Houston said. Exhale. Let me exhale, all right? Let me breathe. Okay, woosah. All right, y'all. In other divorce news, did y'all hear about Kandi and Todd? All right. So, Kandi and Todd's divorce is finally finalized. Kandi is now a free woman and she can date a man who's actually on her level. So get this, the divorce has been finalized and she only had to pay Todd a one-time settlement of $423,000, I believe. Let me double check my notes. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me make sure. $426,000 in some spare change. So get this, In the divorce, Kandi gets to keep her 2022 Bentley, her Cadillac Escalade, a Ford F-250, a Porsche Cayenne, 1963 Camaro, while Todd gets to keep a 2020 G-Wagon, a 2020 Porsche 911, a 2023 Range Rover, a 1973 Ford Bronco, and a 1963 Lincoln and a Ford Transit van. Kandi gets to keep the kids' passports. However, Todd can require them for ahead of time if they go out of town. Both get joint custody, and neither one of them gets on child support. Mama Joyce, thank you for telling her to get a prenup, because guess what? If she didn't get a prenup, we wouldn't be having these problems right now, okay? She'd be sitting around she'd be fighting for her no scrubs money and everything else. Let me tell you something. If I ever get married, which probably is never gonna happen, I don't care if I walked into the marriage with $1. I want my dollar when I leave the marriage. I don't care if I came in there with a strand of hair, bubble gum, and an earring. I want my strand of hair, my bubble gum, and an earring, and you keep yours. Now, whatever we accumulate together, let's divvy it up down the middle, because when you are married, I do believe that you both contribute to people's households, and you do contribute to, not households, but to ideas, and you are like the guinea pig. So I do believe that if you do contribute, you should get compensated. There's no word about what's going on with the restaurants. But this is why Drake said, make sure you hit them with the prenup and then tell that man to ease up. Because Todd, quite frankly, you were never on Kandi's level. Kandi elevated you, and without Kandi, we wouldn't care about you, and you wouldn't probably have had nearly much as the success that you've had in the last 10 years, because let's be clear, while being the financier on the Housewives of Atlanta is cute, you was no millionaire. Also, they had to divide up the, first of all, this is so random, they had to divide up credit card points. He also had to pay her the balance that are on their joint credit cards and pay for the remainder of the Falcons tickets, which is random. Anyway, enough about that foolishness. Y'all, I have to tell y'all about something that amazing that happened over to me last week. God is so good, man. I just, I'm overjoyed and I feel extremely blessed. The success of this show this show is really, really doing well. I appreciate everybody tuning in. You don't have to tune in to me. Words cannot describe. I'm grateful that I have a team around me that helps me. I may get frustrated, but you know what? I will never show it outwardly, because let me tell you something. The people who help me don't get paid. They show up early every week to help me out, and I'm just grateful. I won gold at this competition. Let me show you my medal. I won gold at a state competition called Skills USA. That's the back of it. Taylor, come here. So Taylor and I competed in the same category. This is my boo. Come here. Say hi to the people. So we competed against each other. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. I didn't think I was going to win. I was waiting on Taylor's name to be called. We competed against each other, and when they called my name for gold, y'all, I think I about had an out-of-body experience. Thanks, baby. You can go back. I wasn't trying to be rude. Thanks for coming, by the way. I didn't expect it, and I'm going to tell you why. There's been a lot of things in life that I feel like I've worked my butt off that I didn't get, that I know for a fact I deserve, but it wasn't God's timing for me to get it. But I guess that was just time for me to have my moment, and time for me to, show all the work that I've been doing with the show, and it finally, it's been paying itself off. The reason why this is a big deal for me is, I don't think you all know, I suffer from a couple of things. I don't suffer. I have anxiety. Anxiety doesn't have me. I also have depression, and I also have ADHD. Those three things can create a very hectic environment when you're a creative person. I am very shy due to the anxiety. And with the depression, I typically don't like to work. When I go home, I sit in bed. I like to just stare at the ceiling, and I don't really have a motivation or a drive. But now that I know what is going on with me, I've gotten the proper help. I've been, speaking to the proper people. And I'll tell you this, no matter what you struggle with in life, no matter whether it's big or small, my grandmother always told me, never be a victim, be a victor over your life and your circumstances. Don't ever allow something to control you. You control it. You may have something, but you take the power of it. Don't ever let anything take the power over you in your life. I kind of let my anxiety and my depression take precedent, because I just wasn't motivated to do the things. But with this show and the help of wonderful people like Jack and Jalen and all the people who've been helping me, it's been giving me motivation to show up here every week And I'm forever grateful and appreciative. And thank you to Miss Melanie for helping me. Miss Jen was a wonderful support system. Thank you, Sam, for giving me all the critiques because the show has been better since then. Y'all, whenever it's for you, I say go get it. If you have a dream, don't sit around and be at home and say woulda, shoulda, coulda. Go out there and get it, because if I can do it with everything that I have going on, you can too. But anyway, y'all, back to camera 2. That's all the time that I have for y'all this week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next week. Bye, and thank you all for tuning in live. Bye, y'all.